For those of you that don't know you, who are we here with today?
I'm Dizzy Realness. Nice to meet y'all. Nice to meet y'all.
What was home like growing up?
Home, I say it was more just a house, you know, because home could be people, home could be places, but I don't know. Growing up, my home was like a little trap house. So I always had some tweakers. My mom was always taking in foster kids. They were always stealing my shit. But I get it, you know, when you don't come from much, you got to do what you got to do to at least have something, you know. So I get it. But mom was never home. Dad wasn't in my life, so I was very by myself. And I was very independent already at a young age. So I was already making money in and out the house, but mostly in the streets. Like I was never really home.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Where were you at most of the time?
Sleeping on the park bench.
No. Really?
Yeah. So I spent most of my nights, the concrete floor. It wasn't hard in the sense like to sleep out here, you know. It was just hard to know that I didn't have a home and loving people to go home to. I think that was the hardest part, you know. Because even then, like, I have people come over because now I have a house and shit. So I have people come over and I tell them, like, sleep on my bed, sleep on my bed. Like, there's never a time I won't be like, I'll gladly take the floor. Like, that shit, it reminds me of shit I've been through before. So, you know, it made me feel safer in the streets with people I didn't know.
Oh, wow.
In a house with people I didn't know because it's supposed to be my house, my safe place, yet it wasn't that for me. So, you know, I just felt uncomfortable. I didn't want to be there.
Did you ever feel loved as a kid?
I guess our idea of love growing up was had to be throwing shit in each other's faces and yelling, getting into fights. We're all very angry people, so I guess that's just how we expressed our love. But I was too busy already taking care of the house at such a young age. Like, I didn't think I had to. Like, not saying that I didn't have to because I know how to pick up after myself, you know, but I was already making money, giving it to my mom, putting it in her purse. So I thought I'm pretty much like the man of my house. Like, I'll take care of the bills, this, and the third. Like, you know, y'all do the cleaning. But, so yeah, it was just always over little shit, petty shit. Like I said, we're kids, we're going through a lot. Like, because it wasn't just me in that house, you know, it was my siblings, all girls. So we're all in that house trying to figure out why the fuck our shit got stolen or why isn't this cleaned up, and have foster kids in there too. So we're just all angry. Like, our mom loved them and showed a special type of love to them, which I get it. They didn't have nobody to love them. But it's just like we also needed our mom too at the time. We didn't get much of her.
Okay. Do you have siblings?
Yes. I have Naomi, Nellie, Michaela, Greg, Monkey, Nando, and then me. My brothers passed away though, both of them, recently. Some of my girl sisters I don't see too much. They're on with their own lives, having kids and whatnot things.
Oh, wow. Do you wish you had a little bit more bonding time with them, or?
I wish I did, but honestly, the life I live, I'm glad I don't. Because the life I live at times can be very reckless, very, very absurd, you know, and I wouldn't want them involved in that. Two of my siblings for sure had it worse. For sure. And you know what, looking at them in their life now, like, I'm glad, I'm grateful that they are where they're at right now. You know, my sister has her own business. Like, she's on baby number 2. My other sister, she's doing good for herself, got her man, have a baby too. Like, you know, they got it a lot harder, definitely, because growing up too, like, they were still stuck in that space where my mom was fighting her husband to get away from him and, you know, like, to create a better life for those babies. So I'm glad that they, you know, it gives me hope that I can still do something with myself.
What's something you wish your family understood about you?
Ooh, something I wish they understood. Okay. My older sister, she tends to look down on me a lot. because, you know, I hang out with people from hoods, you know, I grew up with them, you know, like those are my people, like, and she doesn't understand, like, she always calls me ghetto, and you know, it kind of puts me down, but I also just laugh because I'm just like, you know what, I am ghetto and I'm proud of it because it does make me who I am. Like, I'll sit here and say ghetto does define me because at times I do let it define me, like, but it also makes the best part of me because I don't know, it's just like those are the tracks I was raised on, and as a kid my mom would always tell me like don't play on train tracks, but me being stubborn I'm still gonna do it. So I really had to go into that lifestyle, see what that life is like for them. Those are my people, they my homies, I'm out with them every day, so I understand it. Like, so she looks down on me for that, and it's just like, okay, I understand that you're my sister, you want to see what's best for me, you want me to do what's best, like, but we all have our own choices, and I'm literally living in the hood. How do you expect me not to be friends with these people or hang out with them 24/7, you know? Like, I wish she understood that. Like, I have a different type of love for these people. You know, like, I want us all to eat. Like, I want us all to make it out of there. Like, yeah, I wish she'd understand that. I didn't have nobody growing up much, like, to look out for me, protect me, take care of me. So now that I actually have people, like, I learned the hardest thing to do right now is actually how to keep those people. Like, I could have people all day 24/7, but to actually keep them, that's another thing. I'm not good with that because like I said, I'm not used to having it. When it comes to mentality, age doesn't matter. I'm like 30 in my head. Or at least I like to think so. But I think mostly it wasn't that I had people who I looked up to. I just had a lot of people I looked at and didn't want to be. I think that's where a lot of my, sad to say, but a lot of my inspiration to do better came from.
Did you ever had any role models looking up that you looked up to?
One, and that would be my brother Royal.
Oh wow.
He passed away recently, but he was just like me, little travieso, getting into trouble, hanging out with guys from the hood, you know. So me and him, our stories don't fall that far either. But he ended up, well, getting with my sister, you know, having his life, and he made music. So it showed me like, damn, like I could be a kid from the hood and still make it. I could still do something with myself. Like, yeah. And then I had right before he passed away, actually, he asked me to finish one of his songs, so I ended up doing that for him. But I haven't done nothing with it yet, you know, like I haven't posted it. I haven't, like, I'm just waiting to find a passion for it, I guess, you know, for something, anything, honestly. He was driving home, actually, and there was this drunk driver, and he ended up hitting him. He died instantly, and so we've just been going to court for that, you know, to get his justice. But that's why the other day I got mad, like, when the cop told me, like, you gotta go, like, drive high. Like, it got me mad because I'm like, dude, like, going through this whole, like, brain trigger trauma of my brother passing away from somebody being high and driving, and you want me to drive high? Like, yeah, I was so mad, I'm not gonna lie. Hi, officer.
No, you guys gotta leave now.
We gotta leave?
Parking right here.
Okay.
Give me a moment, because I'm not trying to drive like that.
Gotta go.
Okay, but I'm gonna get a DUI if I drive high.
Out.
That's, what do you think I'm trying to do? You see how they are? Like, I'm trying to be responsible, and they trying to, like, get me caught up. That's LA for y'all. Fuck Juras, fuck 12, fuck 12, fuck Juras. On me, trying to be a responsible kid.
Going back to that a little bit, you like spaces like where we're at right now, you know?
I love it.
And I figured this was a perfect spot, you know, being around LA a little bit more, talking to people like you. I'm like, you know what? I think she's gonna like this spot.
Yes, no, I love it very much. I think, like, you come to LA, and if you pay close enough attention, like, all the writing on the wall will tell you its own story. I'm gonna tell you, you gotta go somewhere just empty, make sure there's no huras around. Or make sure at least that it's a space where you can, you know, like, if huras pass, they won't trip because it's already all tied up. But just go, put on some music, get into a vibe, and just fuck around with the can, and you're gonna see why. Like, it's like the moment you push that can, you put your hand on it, you're gonna create something in such a different way. And you already create, you got your films, you know. So, But this is a different type of creating, and it just helps you release everything in your mind, and you just put your paint on the wall in colors and expression. Like that's what I say it does for me and a lot of artists. Like I'm saying though, like there's a lot of history right here though, because growing up my mama used to tell me like this shit wasn't always like this. Like back then, because she was a part of a tagging crew and a party crew, so you know they have the party lines and all that going crazy. So Dizzy was originally her name, but she passed it down to me because it was her art name. But it's a lot of history though, because like so many people got killed just from writing on walls. Okay, you know hoods have been here from the beginning of time, and before the beginning of time then you had the indigenous versus the white people, the British, you know, so back to killing each other over land. But so anyways, the hoods would get mad when they would find taggers writing on their walls in their hood, and they would tell them like, hey, you either got to be from here to write on my walls, or next time I catch you, that's it. So a lot of taggers, like my mom, a lot of her tagger friends, they got murdered over just writing on the walls. So that's what I'm saying. It's a lot of history, and it's crazy to see what it's become, because now anybody could come write on a wall without a problem. The biggest message I want to leave behind is my name. You have to know me to know what that name stands for. That's it. And if you don't know that name, it's fine. I hope maybe someday you will, but I don't know. My name is my title. I've always stood on that. Not from nowhere. I'm just me, unapologetically.
All right, so when did Los Angeles stop feeling like a dream and start feeling like survival?
I think when I was 13. Because don't get me wrong, when I was already like 6 years old, very independent. Like I said, all that shit was going on at my house. So I was already like selling lemonade, and that's when I already started finding like capsules of fucking loud on the block, you know, and flipping that shit, smoking that shit. But I'd say 13, because that's when I really started getting out more. I started taking the train everywhere. I started just going anywhere I could, as far as I could get from home. Being in the streets consistently, going to parties, functions, them getting shot up. My homie's house is getting raided. My homies dropping on the streets. It's crazy. It's just crazy. And then like it seemed like once it started, it kind of never stopped, you know?
Okay.
Like I'm still losing people left and right. I'm still fucking seeing shit get shot up. Still going through the struggle. Like, yeah. LA's like one big acid dream trip.
Okay.
You know, if that makes sense. Like, it's some crazy shit to see, but it's real once you see it. Sitting in that cold ass cell the whole night, to getting my car impounded fucking 3 times, getting caught up with a gun charge, having to literally save the homie's life because he got shot. Like, you know, being on drugs, looking back, like I used to be on Xans and ecstasy almost every day for 2 years. Like, it's crazy. Like, honestly, that's something I still struggle with today, because I sit back and I'm like, I'm in this new place. Like, I sit and I genuinely like tell myself like, dude, you're in a new place. You're in a new place. You're not where you were before. And it's just so hard to believe, because the trauma where I was before still stays. So I think that's the hardest thing, trying to look through a new lens when I thought it was clean, but it's actually shattered. Like, you know, It's a lot of self-reflecting, a lot of looking back. And I think that's the hardest thing though for me, is to actually sit back and look at all my trauma when it's something I don't like to do. I don't like to speak about it. I don't, because then it feels like I'm reliving it again, and I have to remind myself every day that I'm not. So I think like getting my car was one of my biggest achievements in life, honestly. And it's weird because I graduated. I was a dropout for shit. I was a dropout for a year, bouncing around 5 different schools, and I graduated. Yet I still consider getting my car my biggest achievement. Is crazy. It's crazy to me, but it's because it's like it's a different type of freedom. Whenever I want, I could just get in my car, fucking go on the freeway, push 120 if I want to, like driving careful and sober, of course. Of course. But you know, like it's a different type of release. It's like that release when you're mobbing up on a wall. Like it's like the adrenaline to feel alive, but in a good way, you know. It's not like I have to mob up on a wall and end up getting caught maybe and go to jail. No, I could just get in my car and go for a drive and get some peace of mind, listen to music, like see if I catch a race maybe. Like, and I do be a lot.
What is a normal day, if that even exists in your vocabulary? What does a normal day look like for you?
Nah, don't get me wrong. Normal day exists in my vocabulary, just not the way everybody else will see it. I think a normal day for me is waking up, praying to God that some shit don't go south today, going to chill with the homies in the hood, you know, making sure everybody good, checking in with all my peoples, then running errands or going to work and just praying I make it through the night, pretty much. I don't know. When you live somewhere like this, you wake up and you go to sleep like just kind of knowing you gonna die. And it's sad to say, pero it's the truth though. You end up running into so many scenarios and situations where it's like, fuck, sometimes your back really up against the wall and you gotta shoot or you gotta be shot. And I'm saying that metaphorically, but also like literally, because that's how it is sometimes. Like shit, you end up having blood on your hands after living a life like this for so long. All you can do is just pray for God to take the blood away, and hopefully His blood is enough.
With that, do you remember the first night you realized no one was coming to save you?
First night I realized no one was coming to save me. I think the day my best friend got murdered. I think that day for sure, because I was going to job corps to school in downtown LA. And I was living there at the time, and I was trying to get my high school diploma, and I was also trying to study to be a clinical nurse assistant.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I was trying to be a CNA. And randomly, like that night, like I felt something bad was gonna happen. Like I couldn't tell you why for the life of me. Like before then, why I just kept telling God. Like I was just in my dorm and I was telling God, I was like, God, like take me, and I was just crying and I was like, dude, I want to go home. Next day, I wake up and they're talking about some man on the news who was murdered, like where I live, and I'm just like what? And then my friends call me and they're all like, dude, your best friend, it was your best friend. And I'm like, you're lying, you're joking. Not because it's something they would joke about, but because like in a million years, that's something I'd never wanted to hear, never imagined to hear, never would have fathomed, you know? And so I was just at school and they wouldn't let me leave because I was a minor at the time, so they wouldn't let me leave on my own if I wanted to. And I just kept calling my mom, telling her, pick me up. I called everybody, like everybody I knew. And I didn't really know a lot of people like that. To this day, I still don't. But I was just calling my mom and she was like, I'm not going to get you. Like, and I just broke down crying. And I was just like, all right, cool. So I was ready to just fucking like book it. I was ready to just book it out the fucking dorm and just catch the bus home. Like, but I don't know. I've realized for a lot of things, a lot of people haven't had me in my life, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's not necessarily a good thing either. You know, like you should be able to have some type of support system in your corner and people who actually give a fuck about you and will lend a helping hand when it's needed. But you can't expect help from somebody who's barely even helping themselves. But I know, like, I loved him so much, like. I still go over there, take groceries to his mama. Like I can't love him, but I show my love through his family. And they love me too, and I'm grateful for that because like shit, I barely even have my own family, and you're telling me my best friend left me with a family in general. Like I couldn't be more grateful. For real. But I think the hardest thing, like too, when it comes to that, like I think the hardest thing I've ever had to like actually do is stand up in that courtroom and look at the person who did it and speak about who my best friend was in front of him. That shit killed something in me that day.
How long ago was this?
He passed away in 2023 or 22, maybe 22. I can't remember.
You're like 15, 16, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Damn. It's really been that long. It don't even feel like that long. That's the crazy part. Like when you go through so much trauma, it feels like it just happens and replays. Like not just that it replays, but like when you go through one thing, it's crazy how like another thing could also trigger that. Like, you know? So it's like you're reliving it, or it doesn't seem like it's happened too long ago. But just being 19, you have a lot of people look at you and tell you your truth isn't your truth, your words don't matter, you're too little to be listened to. Like, nobody wants to listen to a 19-year-old because it's like, what do you know about the world? But it's just like, fuck, if you actually sit here and listen, I might know a lot more than you think. Like, real shit. I think the hardest thing is, not having no support, like, not having real friends, because people really fucking be setups. Everybody's for themselves, You're trying to go to school, trying to do right, yet you have nobody taking you on the days that you're tired. I used to have to take 3 buses every day just to get to my school over here in downtown LA. Like, that shit was hard. That shit was hardest thing. Like, I think the support, just having somebody who actually supports your dreams and tells you you can do it, I think that's the most important, But don't get me wrong, it's also another thing to have motivation versus discipline. I think a lot of hard things come from being around hoods. You get caught up with them real quick, or drugs, kind of. Just growing up in LA, you're not taught a lot of things that you should be taught. You're not. You have nobody to teach you these things, and no offense, because shout out to parents, they're still living their life for the first time too, but it's just like, damn, like, y'all ain't even passing the knowledge down. It's like, it's like they don't want to see us grow. They want us to be stuck there, and it's just like, we're not going to be stuck here forever. We're going to grow up one day and have lives of our own and go our separate ways. Like,
What keeps you going when everything around you feels heavy?
God. I'd have to say that's God, because shit, I don't know. On days I can't do it, I'll drop to my knees and give it all to God, because shit, I don't know who else to tell. I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to feel, but I just know God's strength will get me through, because that's all he has done for me, is just get me through. Like, can't explain how many times, but like I said, one thing you learn about this life is how to pray, because there's so much evil in it that you learn you need some light. And I'm not saying it's just God either, because at the end of the day, I'm still making the choice to get out of my bed. I'm the one still choosing to get up and go on about my day. I'm the one choosing not to pop them pills or cut, like, so I gotta give myself some credit. But definitely, I give a lot of my credit to God, for sure. I think it's not even the city, honestly. It's, what the problem is? Like, it's the people. It's the people. At the end of the day, we're the ones who make the city. We're the one who make the people in power. We're the ones, like, all we doing is hurting each other. Like, it's not the city. The city could be very beautiful. It could be don't get me wrong. I consider all this graffiti, this is my beautiful, because this is a story. But as far as the city itself, like, we're stuck in a place where people want power more than a unity in a community, and of course one's going to override, because then you have more people wanting power, more people demand, supply and demand. So I definitely think it's the people who are fucked, but it's because we choose to fuck ourselves over, like, we're the ones stealing, we're the one breaking shit, leaving trash on the floor, like, tagging it up. And don't get me wrong, like, okay, the tagging's beautiful, but everything else, what are we doing? It doesn't affect nobody but us, because we're here 24/7. We live and breathe this air 24/7. So,
Talking about people, when's the last time someone showed you real kindness here?
kindness, real kindness. First ever time actually here, I was sitting by some stairs where I used to live, where I grew up when I was in middle school, 6th and Lorena. They have stairs right there, and then there's hall and back, whatever. I was sitting right there, and there's this homeless guy right there, and I'm just sitting right there, I'm going through it, trying to clear my mind or whatever. And I have like some shorts on and a sweater, and I'm just like cold, and he walks up to me, a man who has nothing but a tent over his head, and he walks up to me and offers me his blanket. He offered me his blanket, and he didn't even have much. I just wanted to cry. I gave him my sweater that night, like, and his blanket back, of course, but I was just like, damn, like, you don't have nothing right now and you're still compassionate enough to come over here and try to comfort me and make sure I'm warm. Like, I couldn't have been more grateful that night. LA has a way of doing that though. Like, it brings out a lot of the ugly in people. You know, it's like a disease in LA. Like, everybody's so angry and so they're just angry because it comes from so much hurt because there's so much history here, you know? Like, there's so much blood on these paves, yet all we do is cover it with tagging. So yeah, no, shit, I'd be angry too. I get it. And don't get me wrong, I want to be angry every day, but I know there's not a lot of people who are kind, and a lot of people need more smiles rather than a mean mug, but we're also from a place where it's like a smile could get you killed. So how do you expect us to? Let's talk about the real problems, like people getting sexually assaulted. Like, a lot of people don't want to talk about that. A lot of people don't want to talk about these young girls because they're out in the streets, because they don't have a family. You know, they get thrown out and into what, some hands of a guy who they don't even want to be touched by, or getting catcalled, like just feeling uncomfortable, not wanting to walk home at night, like things like that. I'd say for sure, like those need to be spoken upon more, you know. I've been touched inappropriately for sure, and it's an ugly feeling, and it's something you have to live with every day. And it's like, no matter how many times you shower, it doesn't wash off the memory. And you know, people just kind of expect you to live through that and to continue to go through that. And don't get me wrong, like I'm mad because the whole abortion law they're trying to pass where you can't get it. And you know, don't get me wrong, I also believe in God. I know in the Bible it says, you know, like not to have an abortion, but it's just like when you go through something so traumatic, how do you expect a woman to carry practically a trauma baby like that? And I give credit to the ones who can do, because damn, you're putting a beautiful life in front of yours. But the ones who can't, I get it, because it's like, damn, you also gotta choose your life first. Like, it's something hard. It takes a piece of you.
Have you seen more love or more pain living in the city?
I think both. It's the same way you can't have angels without demons, you know? You gotta have some type of hate. It means you're doing something right. You know, people envy you because they want something you got. It means you're doing something right. And even when you get love, it's rare, but just know it's real, because like I said in the previous video, like, you gotta have a special type of love to be out here, to love the homeless and give them plates of food and sit and talk to them. You know, like, just to love your people. It's a different type of love here, because you come from nothing. When you come from nothing, you really learn what true love is. And that's still, like, I think my favorite memory of, like, my mom, one thing I'll say, like, for Thanksgiving, it would always just be only me and her. You know, my sisters always had family they could go and take off to. I never did. It was just always me and my mom when I had her. That was even if I had her. I'd be lucky at times. But
You wish you had her more often?
yeah, I wish I did, you know? I wish I did. But you know what? Honestly, right now, I feel like I'm at a place in life where I think I need her the most now than when I did when I was younger. Only because I'm doing adult things life. Like, I've never had a car, you know? So, you know, she could help me with that because she has a car, you know? Or when I get a house, she could help me with that because she knows how to get a house. She has a house. So I think I'm more... Yeah, I need her more now than I ever did in my life. But that's also because I had to have me only back then in my life, so... But what was I saying? Oh, yeah. My favorite memory, though. So Thanksgiving, my siblings would always go everywhere else, you know, with their families. And it made me sad, but I was happy because I at least had my mom. Grateful because I didn't have her much. And we used to always cook a really big dinner. Really big turkey, ham, stuffing. I never liked the stuffing, but it was like, she made it good, but I just never liked it. I never liked stuffing. And so me and my mom, like, because there were so many leftovers, we would just end up putting out plates on plates and plates and plates and putting food on it, packing them up, and grabbing blankets from our hot closet that we didn't need no more and taking them to the people on Skid Row. So that's by far my favorite memory, and that's a tradition I still carry to this day.
Do you think LA is dying or evolving?
I think it's dying, but evolving to, honestly, a little worse. Not gonna lie, with the economy crashing and, you know, like we have so many empty buildings and shit, but you don't see nobody opening up more homeless shelters. You don't see nobody having opportunities for people. Like, y'all have these buildings and this money, but what are you guys really doing with it? Because I know shit, once I get money, the first thing I do with it is help my mama put food on the table and try to make a good life for me. But you got people in power who just want money coming consistently just to blow it all.
What does peace look like for you here?
Peace. I think that's something you're always in search of for here. I think it's not, I don't think like peace isn't something in the world, it's something within yourself. So if you look in the world, you're going to be looking forever because it's not here. So you actually sit down, do a full examine of who you are, who you want to be, what do you want to do. Because you know what, like you're going to have people who aggravate you and tempt you every day to do something, but your inner peace, it only comes from you and you choosing to stay solid to what you believe in and what you stand for.
That's the mirror you painted? Wow. Sick.
Another one of my biggest achievements.
They say prayers change lives while my niggas fall victim to this cold game is no label. When I ain't answering my phone, cause I've been battling demons. Tried to blame it all on me. How the fuck you just man by taking life without his body?
And through all this darkness, it's where you'll find the most light. I like Rite Aid ice cream, but they took it out recently. They took it out. I mean, they're taking out a lot of our stores now. They took out the 99-cent store, and now Rite Aid. It's crazy.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
It's crazy.
What do you think about it?
It sucks, cause what about the people who don't have much and only have 99 cents? Like shit. Even the Dollar Tree, $1.25 now, 5 and up actually. It's crazy. Like everything's going up, inflation's going up, taxes and everything. It makes it harder to live here. It makes it harder to have things here. Like don't get me wrong, okay, you'll live here, but you're living paycheck to fucking paycheck.